Yeah, I am not long for this world, you see, because I am just a mere mortal. My life will end someday. But One Piece will never end. One Piece is forever. How can you fight against something that will never end? It's by leaving your knowledge to the young ones watching you. So one day they can leave their knowledge to their children, and their children can leave their knowledge to their children. So that way there will always be stories of people trying to debunk One Piece. Because I am just a mortal and One Piece is immortal, forever, never ending. Generations of Mystic Chimp viewers will carry on the legacy of Mystic D Chimp, how to argue with One Piece fanboys. One Piece is evil, it's corrupt, it has destroyed the minds of almost everyone watching it. No matter how bad One Piece gets, for them it will always be perfect. There are some evil forces at play when it comes to One Piece. Now, my children, let me give you this legacy. The legacy of how to argue with One Piece fanboys. There is truly, really only one way you can argue with One Piece fanboys. So let's start with the knowledge that I'm gonna pass down to you, my viewers. First of all, you have to get inside of the mind of a One Piece fanboy. For them, it's perfect no matter what. So here is the reality of what happened to One Piece. To anyone who is not blinded by a evil curse, well, you can clearly see what happened during Wano makes no sense at all. In fact, it's complete nonsense what happened in Wano. Luffy turned into a bullshit god. And how? How did Luffy turn into a god? Well, he fought against Kaido. When Kaido was first introduced, Oda built him up as the strongest character in One Piece. Not the second strongest, not the third strongest, but the strongest character in One Piece. Oda built up Kaido as the strongest villain the Straw Hats are ever going to face. When Kaido was first introduced, and this is something that a lot of One Piece fanboys have already forgotten because of the curse, because their minds have been corrupted by evil. When Kaido was first introduced, it was stated that on sea, on land, no matter where he is, Kaido is the strongest creature alive. The introduction didn't say on land, on sea, on air, Kaido is the 10th strongest creature alive. That's not what the introduction said. So Oda clearly hyped this guy up as literally the strongest creature in One Piece. Luffy fought against Kaido. Luffy was a strong character. Top 20 strongest characters in One Piece, probably. But Luffy was nowhere near Kaido's level. Kaido killed Luffy. And here is something that the fanboys can never defend. This is the only argument that you can use against the One Piece fanboys. Because this is the only thing that they saw for themselves. Luffy, by being killed by Kaido, woke up as a god, woke up 100 times stronger, woke up with the ability to manipulate reality, woke up with all his wounds healed. All the damage he took from Kaido, it was healed the moment he became this bullshit god. While fighting Kaido, he was also very tired, but when he became Gear 5, all of a sudden, yeah, you're super strong, you were very tired, but this god transformation bullshit healed all your wounds, it replenished your stamina, it gave you the ability to manipulate reality, and you were able to toy around with Kaido like he was nothing. The strongest creature alive was nothing to you. And you got all of that by dying. Now the way Luffy got this transformation, barely foreshadowed, barely mentioned, it doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. You can tell One Piece fanboys that this is a plot hole, this doesn't make any sense, and they will respond with, but on Skypiea there was a sun god, but Luffy's silhouette looked exactly like the sun god silhouette when he was dancing around the campfire. And there is no reason to even debunk this because they won't understand. There is no reason to argue with them about the sun god barely being foreshadowed. And the only way to argue with One Piece fanboys is very simple. You tell them Luffy became a god by dying. All of his wounds were healed by dying. He literally gained the ability to manipulate reality by dying. His stamina was replenished by dying. He was easily able to defeat the strongest creature alive, literally toy with the strongest creature alive by dying. Luffy literally became an overpowered character by dying. That's the reality. And that's something they know because they saw it for themselves. So if they respond with, that doesn't matter because Sun God was foreshadowed in Skypiea, you just repeat, he got this from dying, he got this from dying. He literally became a god by dying. And if they respond with, well, that doesn't matter because the Sun God silhouette was foreshadowed on Skypiea when Luffy was dancing. Again, that's irrelevant. You remind them that Luffy became a god by dying. He took out the strongest creature alive by dying. All his wounds were healed by dying. And if they respond with, well, the sun god was foreshadowed on Frankie's t-shirt because Frankie's t-shirt had a sun, you respond again, Luffy literally became a god. A god. By dying. And they'll probably find 10 more excuses. Well, this was foreshadowed. Well, this was shown. And no matter how many excuses they give, always remind them that Luffy became a god by dying. All his wounds were healed by dying. His stamina was replenished by dying. He was able to take down the strongest creature alive by dying. He gained the ability to manipulate reality by dying. That's it. You don't have to mention anything else. You just have to keep repeating this over and over again until they finally realize that, oh wait, Luffy did become a god by dying. That's kind of a bullshit way to become a god. In the fanboy's mind, the way Oda turned Luffy into a god, it makes complete sense. And there is no need to argue with them about the sun god on Skypiea being a snake, about the Luffy not being the only character dancing around the campfire, or whatever. There is no need to even argue about that, because in their mind you are wrong, they are right. But the one thing they can't defend is the fact that Luffy actually became a god by being killed by Kaido. And in my opinion, it's the most stupid power-up a main character has ever gotten. Has there ever been another shonen main character that literally became a god by being killed by the strongest creature alive? Like what? Anyways, my knowledge has been passed down to you. The fight against One Piece fanboys can continue after my passing for eons to come. Because let's be honest, One Piece is never going to end.